Hello everybody, I'm your host, Vaughn Collins. I'm here in the backyard today and I've got a whole bunch of rocks and I'm gonna cut into them. We're gonna see what's inside and I'm gonna do a little rock special to start things off. We got all kinds of stuff. We got agate, we got marble, got these cool eye agates which didn't cut so well last time I tried, but give it another chance. Some beach rocks, this cool rock that's got all these colors in it that I found on a logging road, some jasper from Port Alberni, got another jasper type, some flower stone. Oh, and what's this? It's my best piece of jade I've ever found. It's actually maybe ringolite to be technical. I found this on my jade video, so you should maybe check that out if you haven't seen it. It was really special find. Ooh, it's chilly out. It's just February. It's gonna be my first cut of the year. I'm gonna try cutting this malachite. It's got a nice green oxidization on the outside edge, and what I'm hoping to see when I explore into the rock is like green throughout the inside as well. I have tried cutting a few of these and I didn't find green, so I won't be too disappointed. But that's what this is all about, like just checking out what's inside and trying to find like a little gem in the rough. So exactly what I kind of expected. It's just like a marbly kind of limestone when you cut into it. No green. Green's just on the outside. I've got this kind of Dallasite-y looking rock, and I'm gonna see what it looks like when it's cut now for the first time. I never did cut one. Well, that looks pretty awesome, but I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to put that one aside. Let me know in the comments which rock is your favorite out of this whole section, and who knows, maybe I'll end up making something for you. You guys may remember this rock. I think this is a galaxy stone. It's hard to tell till I chop into it. I hope it's worth all the trouble. Not exactly what I was hoping for, but nevertheless, still pretty cool. Okay, before we get into my favorite piece of jade here, I want to show you guys what the other pieces look like in similarity to it. So when we go to the Fraser River, we're looking for jade, but we find tons and tons of serpentine. So to the untrained eye, it kind of looks a lot similar. When I found this, there was just a little bit of it poking out. I'm sure if the whole thing was exposed, that someone else would have already picked it up. This is what good looks like. And this is what not that great looks like. So I'm gonna chop into this not that great, and then we'll take a thin little slab and we'll see how much light passes through and what color that light is. Like, it'll be green obviously, but what color of green. There's over 100 different colors of green if you never really thought about it that way. If you get into the jade world though, like, they have names for all the different types of colors. So I'm gonna chop this little one, take 2 cuts, one here and then one right next to it, maybe even 3 cuts, and we'll get different thicknesses at like 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 inch, and we'll see how much light passes through both. Really thin one. I can see a little bit of light coming through that one already. Let's try this other rock. Woo! That's better. I really don't want to cut this one, but I have to. It's for the video. This might be like one of the highlights of the whole video. This rock is so special to me. God. Oh, I love that rock. It's a shame to cut it, really. So I've got one little offcut this could be displayed on your shelf and you could actually see the light come through the edges. I want to show you guys how the light passes through these rocks. So you'll see kind of like black spots in there. That's the magnetite. And what you're looking for is light to pass through as much of a thick stone. Like this is super thin at 1/8 of an inch, but you want it to pass through like as much of a thick stone as you can. So I got this piece here, it's like 1/4 inch, and it's not really passing any light. I was kind of hoping it would, but definitely goes through like nicely in the edges. And if I sand this down to like 3/16, it'll probably go through. This is from one of the other stones. Oh yeah, the second one that I cut has way less of that black magnetite in it and a little bit more clarity. We're still sitting at about 1/8 of an inch with this one, but I think I could cut something a little bit bigger and it would probably be all right. But again, this is my favorite. So I'm here looking at this nice piece of jade I got there. Then I also have this piece of jade that Sofka gave me when I moved the fireplace. And if I'm wearing a piece, I actually would prefer it to be this nice green candy apple color. I love that green. I'm gonna cut into this, but jade scares me. It's got like a grain to it sometimes. Like this one piece here, the dry one, there's not really much of a grain structure to it. It's all like fused together nicely, but this one has a clear grain. You can see the way that it runs up and down the rock and across. This discoloration is where it's been weathering, and that's called a rind. So it's like the edge of it. Definitely don't want any of that in my pendant, I don't think. And it's twice as thick as I would like. So I'm gonna do the scary job of trying to cut this down a little bit and just kind of see what happens. So I went with like a cautious approach there, and instead of going like 60-40, I went 70-30 for thickness. And this like little piece here, it's strong. That's what you're looking for. This is good jade, and I guess I cut it the right direction too. This might even be a little too thick now. I kind of messed that up, but I'm gonna try working with this piece for starters and just see what happens. Love it. Simple as that. And I used the rind too, so that gives it more character. Okay, I got that jade all cut and nothing fell apart in my hands. And now I got all these little bits and pieces, like little blanks to make things out of. I've already made hundreds and hundreds of pendants before, so I kind of have like the shapes that I like to make down refined, and here's a few of them. Sometimes I drill through front to back on a piece like that. Actually, that one is thick enough to go sideways. And sometimes on a really thin piece, yeah, I'll go front to back on a thin one and side to side on the thicker ones with my drilling. But you'll see all that happening in the stages to come. I actually have some other rocks that I cut out, apparently just like sitting around here from before. Rhodonite. This is the Japanese writing stone. This one's kyanite or selimanite. And here's a few other ones that I just chopped off camera. This one's kind of like a mudstone, dalasite breccia, I believe. And then there's this one I found in the Fraser River. And someone told me that this was ancient seabed with iron in it, I believe. And I don't really know what makes the blue, but that's why I brought it home, was all that nice blue in there. And so I took a little cut off the edge. And let me know if that's your favorite one. That's the volcanic seabed. I'm gonna chop about 10 more here. Our next 4 on the chopping block are this weird quartzy rock with a bunch of different colors in it that I found in a logging road. Here's this red quartz that, I don't know, it probably looked pretty silly, but I just wanted to chop a bunch of new rocks today and see what was in there. And then there's this funny looking one that I found in the Oyster River, and I've cut similar ones to these in the past. Some of them were pretty cool, and one of them even had banded calcite in it. And then here's another one that I found in a local logging road, which appears to be rose quartz, and there was also native copper in ones that came out of that same batch. Well, it turns out there's actually a bunch of copper in that one. Can you see all those little shiny bits in there? You can probably see the pink, but right along that edge, that's all native copper there. Cool stuff. Let's try this Oyster River weirdo. One issue I had with these rocks before was they break a little bit, and this one chipped off the edge, but tried breaking the rest of it, and it's strong enough to work with. Let's take a closer look at it. There's all kinds of cool layers in there, and I don't know, I'm gonna try to rip this rock crossways and see if any other interesting things come out. Not that nice. Oh yeah, this one, the logging road rock. That one's actually pretty cool. I would totally make jewelry out of that. I might use this as the center line and do something like that. Let's try something like that out. It does kind of break on there, on that line, so that's something I might have to watch out for, but I'm willing to take the risk. So I got those 2 pieces off that rock. Again, I'm a little bit afraid of them breaking if I get too invested in them with time. I'll have to be really delicate when I'm working with them. They'll probably just fall apart in my hands as I'm working though. Next, I got this big red rock. It's I don't know, there's just some kind of red hematite or something mixed in with the, could even just be iron. Let's just see what it looks like inside, just for fun. This big red quartz is beautiful, I will give it that. But there's like that crack along the edge of the quartz crystal there, and if I do cut it any further, it will just fall apart in my hands. I did enjoy seeing what's inside of it, but not useful for lapidary purposes. Check out this agate. It's like my favorite agate that I've really got. It's a long story how I got this. Someone stole 2 tons of agates from an elderly couple here on the island, and we were actually able to track them down and get them back. It was not safe either, like it was not a safe place to go steal the agates back from the thief, but we did it, and I was given 22 agates or 21 agates or something for my risking my butt there to get these agates back for the old couple. And this was my favorite one out of all of them. There are some other really nice pieces. There's like all different colors. Here's a blue one, little slab off a blue one. These are Brazilian agates. This one was kind of boring in the middle. It was all clear, but when you got to the edge, it was like purple, and there was all these funky colors. So I ripped slabs off the edge. I think I got a few more buried here. Just nice stuff. I think my last rock on the chopping block is these crumbly calcite agate kind of things from Monty Lake. I've got a couple of them here because I think they're just going to fall apart when I cut them. But I did cut one. It was like really cool looking, but too soft and too breakable to take further in the process. But who knows, if I try cutting more, I might find the perfect one. More failure, but that's what it's all about. I do want to show you how cool it looks. If I could get one of these to stay stable and not fall apart, I would have some awesome material. Those little dots in there in the agate or the calcite are called eyes. So this is an eye agate. Found near Monty Lake, BC, near Kamloops. Gonna take a little break now. Me and Sofka, we decided to bring Molly down to the beach and we're looking for some rocks and found her first one, a little dalasite. And there it is, my first piece of blue glass. It's small, but I'll take it. Whoa, that one's got prenite in it.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, when you get those like
bluey,
light blue color.
And it's
quartz,
really
yeah, that's the prenite.
And then suddenly it's like the coolest thing of the day. Did you get too close to it?
The big sea lion was just out here saying hi to us. He swam right when I turned the camera on though. Okay, we're getting retro today with the beach finds. What do we got here? Janis Joplin, 1998. That's a pretty color green. And then look at this dalasite. Not all dalasites were created the same.
Oh, it's almost blue.
That one is so nice. It's like a big, some type of crystal in there. If I cut it, there would definitely be clarity to that, I think.
Yeah, I think it would look like a flower.
Definitely, I think. We got our biggest chunk of glass today. Look at that one.
Chanka.
Okay, I'm gonna drill some of these jade pieces and see if I can make a nice little necklace. Oi. Okay, that's way better because I got a wood backing to drill into, and that'll help me hold it steady. That should be almost through. And we're through. Nice clean hole, it didn't blow out the back too much. I just got 3 of these pendants drilled, and I'm gonna start the sanding process. See if I can do this one-handed here. So I'm just rounding off the edges right now. See how square that top is? And it's starting to round out on that one side now. See, it doesn't really take that long. Now I'll round off the edges because it's pretty square. Again, this is so much easier with 2 hands. But I wanted to get like a real nice close-up shot for you guys so you can kind of see the action. This is a 50 grit Velcro pad that's on there. I'm gonna jump up to a 100 grit, then it keeps doubling to 200 all the way up to like 10,000 is where I finish off. And I'm gonna try to get the best finish I can on this jade. So I'm gonna skip through a bunch of the bits because it's pretty monotonous, but you just got a little bit of action with the 50 grit there. After many minutes of shaping, I've got the rough kind of shape done on with the 50 grit. So let me explain, I'll go through all these. This one is just like a nice little thin slice so you can get lots of light through it. It's got a little bit of the rind on top, and I left a raw edge on the bottom. That's like naturally how the jade breaks. And I like to kind of leave raw features in the stone. So we got a nice little thin one there, and these are all for sale, by the way. This one, you know, this last one was from the fireplace move. Sofka gave it to me. And then we got this one, which is from my jade movie. This is the rock that I found on the Fraser River, kind of a famous rock, and it's got sharp front edge kind of, but I rounded it off so it's not going to poke you in the chest. I went sideways with the drill, so this one wears kind of like a bead, and it's got some darker spots down at the bottom and brighter spots up at top. Passes a little bit of light through the edge, but not through the whole thing. This one was starting off to be my favorite, but in the end it's my least favorite. I just kind of freestyled on the bottom there with that, and I don't really like how the bottom turned out, but it's got a little bit of the rind in the edge there, and it does pass light through the whole thing mostly, so it is a pretty nice piece of jade there. I don't know, it's just not for me. We're just kind of beginning. I can still do a little more shaping as I roll through the rest of the pads, and sometimes I've been known to like bring things back to life and turn things like around, so there is still hope. Let's get into the 100 grit pad. Okay, there is one thing over here Christina wanted me to point out. The door fence. She just wanted me to say that this is the neighbors doing and it has nothing to do with us. We're just the ones stuck looking at it. Okay, I told you at the beginning I was kind of scared to work with the jade because it's so hard and it's got the grain, but this is actually going really well. So I've got the 3 pieces here, and you may notice that I did something with this one. It's symmetrical now, and I made it way smaller. I just kept going smaller and smaller until it went to the shape that I wanted. And there's this like little white bit in the front, which I was trying to polish out, but it wasn't coming out, and I realized it was heart shaped, so we'll keep that in. And yeah, it's back to being my favorite piece. Unfortunately, with this little thin one, I went a little too close in the grinding to the hole. I just don't like how it looks now aesthetically. So I'm going to drill another hole a little bit lower and grind it right out and bring it back into like a whole new shape. So you can see a second hole drilled there. I'm going to sand this whole top off like it was never there. Try to get it more centered and perfect. Got that one all fixed up. So I just asked Jeremy which necklace he's got on. He's still wearing the same old necklace from like 3 years ago. He loves it. And so I've been trying to make him a better necklace for a while now, and he just kind of hangs them up when he gets home. But I got one of the ones that I made here. They're completed, and I actually did something new yesterday. I started doing a knot to thicken up the rope and make them more personal. So we got these 2, and I gave the other one to Christina. We're gonna see which one Jeremy likes the most.
I was just saying, I've been wearing the first one you gave me, and I've never taken it off. Like, it's my favorite one. It's jade. I think it came from the Fraser River, but my favorite part about it is how thin it is.
Okay, cool, because I made another one with that in mind.
Yeah,
and
I see.
And it's actual real jade, not serpentine.
Yeah, that's way more jadey. Holy,
Wow.
look at that. That's sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, candy apple. So that's the one you like other than the other one. So that one came from Sofka when I moved the fireplace, and she gave me that chunk of jade. And this one is from my famous jade video.
Love it.
And I happen to be wearing jade today.
Oh, look at that.
Mom's wearing jade too.
Yeah.
And I got some on Christina this morning, so the whole family's jaded up.
Ooh, I like your new necklace style. How you do this braiding?
Yeah, I tried to make it
Did
all
you do
tight.
that?
Yeah, I did that last night.
Holy.
Trying to make it more personal, kind of.
That is so cool. I like that way better than just a string. Huh. Huh, dude, I'm hard to please when it comes to the rock necklaces. Like, I'd still, in my head, I'm like, I still dislike this one. But, you kind of got something that's selling on me because this length is different. I can pop this on over my head. So this one I'll be wearing on different occasions. Like, this is like a pop it on with a certain shirt.
Yeah, that's
whereas the other one's like an OG, and I
lifer.
got it tight like a choker because I just never want to lose it. And, like, look at how, like, old and ratty this,
Then you got the old ratty knot in there. It actually doesn't look bad.
Anyways, so thanks, Juan.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, and you actually did a good job because I am hard to please, unfortunately, when rock necklaces. But I love this one.
I hope you wear it.
I love you, man.
Thank you. Okay, I'll have to make some more jade necklaces for you guys to give away in the